Hello, good people, and welcome back to Civics and Economics. I've had a lot of questions about just some general things like what we're supposed to be doing, what about attendance, what about modules and assignments, and locking and unlocking, and submitting things and that sort of thing. So I thought I'd just go ahead and knock out some frequently asked questions and just get that out the way. All right, so the first question that I've gotten is about attendance. So I take attendance when we are not virtual. So right now we are virtual for the next couple weeks. But when I do have students in the building in front of me, I am required to take attendance during that class period. So for example, if you have me during first period, which happens from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m., by the end of that class period, I will have put attendance in for today's date. So for example, today is Tuesday, it's not. It's Thursday, January the 14th. If you haven't logged in by 10:15 on Thursday, January the 14th, and you're supposed to be in my first period, I'll mark you absent because you hadn't logged in by the time class was over. Now, you know good and well you have until really midnight every day to log in and do your work, okay? So for that, let's say, for example, you log in at 6:15 p.m., but you're technically in my first period. You're like, what do I have an absence for? I've just got a chance to log in. I had to work. That's fine. I understand that. I will come in the next morning. So, for example, I'll come in tomorrow morning, Friday, January the 15th, and I will go back and check to see if people logged in the day before. And I usually do that before class starts. So I usually do that by 9 a.m. in the morning, okay? So that is how attendance is taken. I will fix it by the next morning if you were not able to log on during class. All right, now since we're virtual, I usually take attendance at 3 p.m. every day when the school day technically stops. But again, if you want to log in after that, that's fine. Take your time. Do what you have to do with your schedule, but I will fix it by the next day. All right, now let's talk about what you're supposed to do every day, okay? So people are like, what are we supposed to be doing? I don't see an announcement. Well, if you read the announcement on Monday, January the 11th, and the announcements that I sent Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of last week, you will know that I don't typically do daily announcements anymore. I only do weekly announcements because you have a calendar in your module that tells you what to do every day, and your modules are labeled by the date, okay? So at the top of the announcements, I'm going to pull up the one that I put on Monday and try to go fast. All right, so look at that. Today will be the last daily announcement until next Monday. I lied a little bit because I had to talk about virtual stuff. So use the calendar on the nitty-gritty page of whatever unit we're on. Right now we're on Unit 1. And the headers in your module to determine your daily tasks, okay? I Zoom every day at 9:05 a.m. and 1:45 p.m. for first and fourth period. They are the same exact content. I teach the same class first and fourth period. I do not teach the same class second period, and I have third period planning. So if you want to hop on that, that's fine. I also have office hours every day from 3 to 4 p.m. So if you need to hop on then because you just have a question and you didn't want to get on the whole Zoom during class to ask it, that's fine. I'm happy to do so. I'm usually available from 3 to 4 p.m. every single day during the week unless I have a parent-teacher conference, okay? So notice how this says use the calendar on the nitty-gritty page and the headers to see. Well, let's work on that for a second. Just make sure that you are looking at your weekly announcements, and then after that, your daily routine is to knock out your warm-up for that day, and then whatever the day's header says to do. Okay. So here's how this looks in your module. Here's the little nitty-gritty page, okay? That is what you're going to see at the beginning of every single module for every unit, all right? It has a Zoom link in it. It has a list of what you're supposed to do every day, warm-up, notes, any assignments, a little bit of your study guide work if you are not a procrastinator, which you shouldn't be. It's bad for you. All right, so here's a little calendar. It says what to do every single day. For example, today is Thursday, January 14th. You were supposed to do today's warm-up, the Conflicts Leading to Revolution Part 2 video, Revolution cartoon, click Submit. You're ready to move on to tomorrow's stuff, okay? So that's what you're supposed to do. Now I'm going to open up the materials page. That's next. You will always have a nitty-gritty and a materials page at the beginning of every module. So for every one of these documents, you make a copy, you add it to your civics folder, which you should have done already for your communication assignment, and you either print them and write them out. You can type your answers into all of these, or like type out what you're supposed to do in all of them in a color other than black so I can easily see what's work and what's not, okay? And I also am giving you all the opportunity, if you want me to print it out and leave it up front at school for you, that's also fine. Just email me and let me know that you want me to print you out paper copies. I'll put your name on it, and you can just have somebody with a mask on come inside of school and pick it up for you, okay? So here's what we're talking about. So you have notes. They are labeled by lesson. You have warm-ups that are labeled by day, and you have a study guide as well that will help you study, obviously, for your test. Okay, so every day when you are trying to figure out what to do for civics, the first thing you should do is that day's warm-up. Okay, so for example, today is Thursday, January the 14th. Here is the warm-up for today. This should be completed for you. I go over it on Zoom every day. I do not go over it on PlayPosit. Okay, all right, so that's what it looks like. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so those are our major pages. Remember, you have materials and nitty-gritty page that tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, all my modules are sequential. That means if you don't do one assignment, all the rest of them will not open up for you. You have to do stuff in order, okay? I've had a lot of questions about, like, oh, well, this is locked. Can you unlock it for me? Nope, I don't unlock anything. You do that yourself. You unlock it for yourself, okay? So, for example, you see how this page says mark done? If I were to click on this page and look at it in the student view, look, you have to check this little thing. If I unchecked it, you have to check. If this page says mark is done, and you look down here at the bottom, this next button will not appear unless you mark it as done, okay? And if you try to move forward and you haven't checked mark is done, you are going to get locked out of it and you can't see what has happened. It's going to say it hasn't been unlocked yet because you did not unlock it, all right? It will also tell you what you have to do in order for this page to be unlocked every time you skip a step, okay? So you have to go back to the nitty-gritty page and mark is done. So we go back to the nitty-gritty page, we mark is done, we click next. Lo and behold, look at that. You can see other things, okay? All right, so this is what your typical lesson page would look like for your day. Notice how it has a to-do date on it. If the to-do date is not the actual day's date that it is, you should probably be moving forward to make sure that you're on the right day, okay? All right, don't work ahead too far. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm not opening the quizzes or the tests early, all right? So make sure you have a copy of the warm-up and put it in your civics folder. Complete the day's warm-up. Knock it out on PlayPosit. If the PlayPosit is not work, text or email me with a screenshot of it not working so that I can help you, all right? I can troubleshoot for you. All right, that's all I got for locking. As far as assignments go, our first 3 assignments after our little communication assignment, so our philosopher's quotes, our bracket, and our cartoon, I will have a little video on how to look at those linked as well. So that is my little tour of our module. Our modules will always look like this. They will always have a nitty-gritty page, always have a materials page. Please notice how they are labeled by date. So for example, Wednesday on the 6th of January, you should have done these things. Thursday, you have 2 things to do. Friday, this one. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and today, so on and so forth. Remember, if it says submit, if it has a little pencil on it and says submit, or if it has a little thing that says mark is done, a little page on it that says mark is done, you have to do that before you can move forward, okay? Just as a little side note, you should have taken your quiz already on Tuesday. It will not close until the end of the 6 weeks, but if you wait until the end of 6 weeks to do a quiz, you're not going to be able to do anything else, and then I'm going to have to call people that live with you and fuss at them, and you don't do that, okay? So here's the rest of this, all the way down to Thursday the 24th, which is our test date. I'm going to take this autobiography thing off of Unit 1 and put it on Unit 2, and then eventually when Unit 2 comes available, this will have a green check beside it, and it will look the same as this. Okay, when you're taking notes, please make sure that the lesson that is on the top of your page is the same lesson that is on the top of your note sheet. Okay, so if you're on lesson 2, make sure that your notes say lesson 2. Everything matches. Okay, it's all nice and organized. Okay, so if you have any other questions, please make sure you text or email. You can text me on Remind or text me on my Google Voice number, or you can send me an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Have a good day. Make good choices.